Hey, ladies Techster fans, I'm Kane McGuire. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Signing Day Central presented by Origin Bank. I am now joined by Interim head softball coach Bianca Duran. Bianca, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You were able to sign 3 players on the first day of the early signing period last week. But before we talk about each of those individual players, just as a whole, how are you and your coaching staff able to navigate this past year in the recruiting process since in-person recruiting wasn't allowed?
Yeah, definitely. It's been getting creative, figuring out ways to navigate just social media differently, to navigate different portals where you can watch those games. It's easy to get frustrated with it, but at the same time, we've just been trying to take the most positive attitude, and the players have been great. They send emails, they communicate really well. The software systems have been amazing. People have worked extremely hard to make sure that we can stay on pace with our recruiting, with the challenges that obviously doing all of that through video. It can be hard at times, but these summer ball coaches and these players and just everybody involved just have done an outstanding job to ensure that those athletes are still getting seen by collegiate coaches and that their opportunities are still going to be there come that recruiting process.
Yeah, and everything got shut down in the middle of their junior year.
Yeah.
So were you able to put your eyes on this particular signing class? Is it one of those situations where you've been recruiting them for a while and you just happen to sign them now?
We got really lucky when it came to this class. We actually had found Audrey and Aaliyah pretty early, and then Gracie we were really, really blessed to find her when we did. She came to a winter camp and was just lights out, and we knew that she was the perfect person for this program. So we got very, very fortunate with this class and being able to find them a little bit early and then be able to stick through with us, and we stick through with them. So this class was a little bit easier than I think the future kind of holds with kind of coming through the pandemic as well.
Sure. And these 3 young women that signed to join the Louisiana Tech family, what characteristics, what skill sets were you looking for this particular signing class for your next season?
For this class, we really wanted to keep building on our culture. I think that being a Louisiana Tech softball player is something very special, and it's something that we want you, all in. That's our saying. And these 3 just really embodied the character and the skill that we were looking for. And I know they're going to come in and they're going to excel the culture we're building right now, and they're great people off the field, and I think that they're great young women, and they want all the things that we bring to the table in this program, but also on the field side, they're extremely talented athletes. They're they work very hard. They're never satisfied, and that was something that really, really drew me to the 3 of them, and we want them to be here. We want them to be a part of this program. They helped with some depth behind the plate. They're helping with depth in the infield, which we have a lot of depth there right now, but with Gracie, she can play anywhere. She's a phenomenal athlete. With Audrey, she can give us that depth behind the plate, but also can play a defensive position as well outside of catcher. And then with Aaliyah, she's just an athlete that can go anywhere in the outfield, and she brings a left-handed bat. So we were really excited just with all of the level of play that they brought to the table for us, not only on the field, but off as well.
Sure. And from a recruiting standpoint, you have to mention the facilities. And if you haven't, go to LaTexSports.com. There's a live construction stream. They look gorgeous, even with all the dirt and steel and everything. So being able to use that and show that off and showcase that, knowing that's where y'all will be playing in a few months, how critical is that, and how did that drive recruiting?
It's been huge, really. And the crazy thing is people see the pictures and they see the outside of it and they're like, yeah, that's pretty amazing. But, when you actually walk through the facility, when I went in not long ago, it's going to be spectacular. And it's honestly something that this program deserves, but also this university and this city deserves as well. And I think any player that sees that knows how special it's going to be a part of it, especially with the history of why we are at this point. It's unfortunate how it happened, but at the same time, it's going to really excel the program in ways that people are going to want to really play for us and support us more than ever before. And I think we already were able to pull a very high caliber of athlete, but I think that facility in itself is going to excel us to that next level, being one of the top facilities really in our conference especially.
Yeah. I imagine as a recruit, you always want to envision yourself, where you're going to be. So being able to show them the renderings and think this is where you're going to be if you come here. I imagine that was a massive selling point for them. And what were some of the reactions that you got for them whenever you would show them the renderings?
I think they were shocked, and they were almost like, okay, so we're going to have our own training room in our own facility. I'm like, yeah, and these doors are going to lead to every single part of everything you need. And I think that just the gratefulness of what is going to come, I think these players just see, that they're not only going to compete at the highest level, but they're going to have every single thing they need to fulfill their dream to come to school here. And having the video room, that's going to be huge for us. We've never had our own video room. And
indoor hitting facility.
Yes, indoor hitting facility. I mean, there's just so many things that are a great opportunity for all of them. And that indoor facility especially, that's going to be huge for us. On a rainy day, we can just go in there and lift those cages up and have a full-on practice inside of that facility. So for recruits to really see that, I think they understood that we want to compete at the highest level, but we're also going to have all the resources to get us there as well.
Awesome. You mentioned their names, so we'll touch on each of these three signees again and let you brag about them. Let's start off with infielder Gracie Hess from Belchasse, Louisiana.
So Gracie she's one of a kind. She actually, funny story, at camp, took a ground ball and it smacked her right in the face. And we looked over, and this is at a camp, so we're like, oh, we don't want anybody to get hurt, obviously. And Gracie, all right, you want to come out? No, coach, I'm good. And it's just, she's one of those kids that nothing is going to stop her. And she's going to work just tirelessly to get the job done and everything that she does. And on top of her play, she's an amazing human being. Comes from a great family. So we're just really excited for her impact to be on the field, but also off the field as well.
Perfect. And earned all district honors the past 2 years. Belchasse, obviously being right outside New Orleans, so in state, not too far from Ruston, just an easy 5-hour drive. Mm-hmm. Next up, outfielder Aaliyah Hill from Ashdown, Arkansas.
Same thing with Aaliyah, kind of funny story. I'm working a camp and there's a girl up to bat and she is just hitting these balls and she's hitting the top of a bathroom, and I'm like, all right, who is this kid? This is awesome. And I end up, seeing her talent-wise, and I got to know her really well and her family. And again, same situation, just a great, great athlete and a great young woman that she worked extremely hard. She kept asking me within the camp, Coach, what can I do here? What can I do there? And she wants to learn and she wants to get better in everything that she does. And then on top of that, she's an amazing person off the field as well. And she's going to bring a lot to the table and not missing a beat in just the atmosphere and family that we have. I think Aaliyah is going to be really, really strong in adding to that family part for us.
Sure. Got to be honest, I have no idea where Ashdown, Arkansas is.
I can't say I do either, but
I'll have to Google Maps that one when I get back to the office. But Aaliyah ranked in the top 100 best outfielders in the country by extra innings softball, batted .696 as a junior before the season shut down, and played travel ball for Texas Glory, which I know has been really kind to the Lady Techster softball program with Morgan Tricoli, Pressa Galloway, and then Lindsay Howard. So that travel ball experience and then Texas Glory, what is it about that softball organization that produces such great talent?
They have some of the top coaches that just really know how to get those young women ready for the next level. They challenge them on the field, but they also stress the importance of academics and just being a good person. And that's something we really look for in these athletes when we're bringing them in. Is we want you to be talented in softball, yes, but we also want to make sure you can leave an impact on this university, not only on the field, but in the community with your teammates, and just be able to build off of the culture that we're really building here.
Good. And then your third and final signee, catcher Audrey Schneidmiller from Burleson, Texas.
Audrey is amazing. She is an outstanding catcher. She's very athletic. She can hit the ball as well. She just brings a lot to the table for us behind the plate, and her leadership and knowledge of the game. I'm really excited for her. Again, comes from an amazing family, just really good person, really good young woman that enough's not enough. And I think that's the special thing with this class, is that these young women are going to come in and they're going to push not only themselves on the field, but their teammates, and they're going to push themselves academically as well. Audrey is an outstanding student, so I'm just really excited for just everything she brings to the table as well.
I believe you when you say she can hit. She batted .447 as a sophomore in 2018 and was named district MVP. So all three bring quite a few accolades. To wrap up, I know your team just finished up your fall practices and done a lot of scrimmages. What did you see out of your program during the fall that you can springboard into the season coming up in February?
I think this fall was a very big growing fall for us. We have a lot of depth. We have more depth right now, honestly, than I've seen in a couple of years here. In our infield, we are deep in the middle infield. We have some depth on the corners. Just was learning just the speed of the game, just really adapting to a different atmosphere for a lot of those younger players and a lot of those transfers as well. We didn't bring back as many as we brought in. So for us, it was just learning who we were as a team and the pace of play that we were going to play at, and understanding that we're going to compete day in and day out. And coach wants us to move quickly. We transition very quickly. We run the bases really hard. So I think the special thing to take from this fall, kind of going into the spring, was the amount of growth that truly did come from this team. And not only did they have to learn the game in a different style, but they also had to learn each other. And I think that was something they excelled in, is we really did invest in that team development on and off the field, to where they meshed really, really well in the fall. And they found a way to compete every day, but also to pick each other up and to be good leaders. Everybody on this team is a leader in a different way. We have leadership groups, and I think those have really implemented a lot for us, in the sense of everybody has a voice and your voice matters. And just the cohesiveness of this team is something I'm really excited to see come back in the off season and keep working hard for the spring. And I think that this year could be really, really special for us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm all in, and hopefully you are all in. Get your season tickets, because it's going to be amazing to see the Lady Texters open up in their new facility. Get your season tickets. Go to LaTexSports.com/tickets, or call the La Tech ticket office at 318-257-3631. Thank you so much for joining me, Bianca.
Thank you for having me.